Have you ever noticed how the most magnetic people in your life aren't always available? Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Receive without pride, let go without attachment." What if the best way to strengthen your relationships isn't about what you do when you're present, but about mastering the art of absence? In today's hyper-connected world, we're expected to be available 24/7. Messages, calls, meetings, it never stops. But the ancient Stoics understood something we've forgotten. True value often lies in scarcity. I'm going to show you how strategic disappearance can transform your relationships, drawing from both Stoic wisdom and modern psychology. Think about your favorite song. Now imagine hearing it on repeat, every hour, every day. Eventually, it loses its magic. The same principle applies to relationships. The Roman philosopher Seneca understood this when he said, "Too much of a good thing is good for nothing." Let me share a personal example. Last year, I started taking regular digital sabbaticals, complete disconnection for 24 hours. The result? My friends and family began to value our time together more deeply. Why? Because humans naturally desire what's scarce. But here's what most people miss. Strategic absence creates space for others to develop their own autonomy. When you're constantly available, you risk becoming an emotional crutch. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus taught that true friendship should strengthen both parties, not create dependency. Consider the concept of relationship homeostasis. Just as your body maintains balance through various mechanisms, relationships need periods of connection and disconnection to maintain healthy equilibrium. This isn't just philosophical theory, it's rooted in attachment theory and modern psychology. Here's the practical application. Start with a relationship audit. Identify where you're overextending your presence. Are you always the first to respond? Do you drop everything for others? These patterns, while well-intentioned, can actually weaken relationships over time. Remember what Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Your absence creates space for others to develop their own problem-solving abilities and internal resources. This isn't just ancient wisdom, it's backed by psychology. Studies show that intermittent absence triggers what researchers call the scarcity principle. When something or someone is less available, they become more valuable in our minds. But here's the deeper psychological mechanism at work. Absence activates the brain's reward centers. Anticipation of future interaction releases dopamine, creating a positive association with your presence. This is why reunions after periods of absence often feel more meaningful and energized. The concept of social satiation plays a crucial role here. Just as your taste buds become dulled after eating the same food repeatedly, constant social interaction can lead to emotional numbness. Strategic withdrawal prevents this adaptation effect. Research in social psychology reveals another fascinating aspect. The mere exposure effect has a ceiling. While familiarity breeds liking up to a point, too much exposure can actually decrease appeal. This is why couples who maintain some level of mystery and independence often report higher relationship satisfaction. Consider the Japanese concept of ma, the powerful negative space in art. Your strategic absence creates this same type of meaningful void in relationships, allowing appreciation and anticipation to grow. Here's how to practice this art effectively. First, create clear boundaries. Choose specific times when you'll be unavailable, maybe it's Sundays or after 8 p.m. Communicate these boundaries clearly to avoid misunderstandings. The key is consistency. Irregular boundaries create anxiety, while consistent ones create security. Second, use this time intentionally. Use your absence to develop yourself, pursue interests, or simply reflect. This isn't selfish. It's essential for bringing fresh energy and perspectives to your relationships. Let's get specific about implementation. 1. Start with time blocking. Designate specific hours as deep work or personal development time. During these periods, be completely unavailable except for true emergencies. 2. Create absence rituals. Before withdrawing, share something meaningful. This gives others something to reflect on during your absence. 3. Practice progressive withdrawal. Begin with short periods and gradually extend them. This allows both you and others to adapt to the new dynamic. 4. Document your insights. Keep a journal of how your relationships evolve during periods of strategic absence. Look for patterns in both your behavior and others' responses. 5. Master the art of reemergence. When you return, bring something valuable, new perspectives, solutions to old problems, or simply renewed energy. Remember, the goal isn't to become unavailable, but to make your presence more meaningful through strategic absence. Now, you might worry this could harm your relationships. Here's what Stoicism teaches us. It's not about the action, but the intention behind it. Strategic disappearance isn't abandonment, it's a tool for deepening connections. Let's address the major pitfalls and their solutions. 1. The guilt trap. Many feel guilty about taking time away. Remember Seneca's words, "The greatest obstacle to living is expectancy, which hangs upon tomorrow and loses today." Your strategic absence serves a greater purpose. 2. The consistency challenge. Some start strong but fall back into old patterns. The solution? Create accountability systems and track the positive changes in your relationships. 3. The overcorrection risk. Others swing too far, becoming unnecessarily distant. Find your balance through regular feedback from trusted friends and family. Always frame your absence in terms of growth and relationship enhancement, not escape or avoidance. Lastly, learn to distinguish between strategic absence and avoidance. The first comes from a place of strength and intention, the second from fear or indifference. Remember, the art of strategic disappearance isn't about becoming distant. It's about becoming more valuable and present in the moments you share with others. As you implement these principles, you'll notice something remarkable. Both you and your relationships will grow stronger. If this resonated with you, like and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom applied to modern life. Share in the comments how you plan to implement strategic disappearance in your relationships.